Hi, I'm Veronica Lee. This is your weekly transformational forecast for the week of November 1st, 2021. This week, what's happening is we've been getting a lot of energy around discernment, and in this way, it can feel like we're a little bit confused. The idea is not to separate. Now, of course, we've been seeing outwardly a lot of separation consciousness, a lot of us versus them, a lot of, polarization. And yet, what's happening is we are really wanting to experience the differences of, let's say, texture and helping us discern so that we can almost like learn how to embrace the colors of the rainbow. Okay, this is all just very etheric right now. What's happening now, that's externally, right? All the chaos that might be out there, this, that, all the dualistic kinds of things. But those are mere reflections of what's going on in here. And what's going on in here is that same level of discernment, right? Not judgment. Now, when we are able to discern what's going on inwardly, we have clarity, we can start to move toward whatever it is to resolve things and so on. The example I want to give is we might think, oh, I'm just really angry, and just chop it up to being angry. Or we can start to tune in more carefully is this anger or is this, frustration? And if this is frustration, what is it that I'm feeling frustrated about? Oh, I'm going to experience the discernment between anger and frustration, but now I'm going to feel deeper into that. And perhaps that frustration is feeling stuck in something and that we want to be able to move through that something. Right? So if we just stopped at anger, we wouldn't be able to move through whatever is going on within us. And that is same, in terms of what's going on out there. So this discernment picture is also going to show up in your life around people. So for example, you might start to discern the people that feel most resonant for you. So it's not, again, to separate and say, oh, I don't want to be around anybody who isn't of like-minded, but instead to discern who resonates, who feels most compatible. And are there certain times that person feels most resonant? So for example, if you're in a place of being super social, maybe those people who are extroverts will feel most resonant for you at that time. So it's not an all or nothing kind of thing. What we are trying to develop is not just this level of discernment and really understanding and getting more pinpointedness about what it is we are feeling, experiencing, discerning, clarifying, but then we can start to make more conscious choices around that. Now, the piece that's even bigger that I wanted to really hold space for in all of this, which is kind of taking it to the next level, but I don't want to add too much confusion, is that if what we discover within us is something we have discerned and we've gotten clarity about, then there's less resistance to it, right? In other words, if we are just stuck in anger, we might either just have this rage and be angry and, spat out, whatever inappropriately, or we might discover that this is something specific, and by having that feeling of resolution, by having that feeling of understanding and compassion, it softens that anger or what we thought was anger, and it moves into it transforms into a higher state of consciousness. And so if we're doing this with our own being on a regular basis, then there's no reason why we can't do this in the rippling circles outward. So in other words, it may be that you discern that somebody isn't quite compatible, but if you can feel into that a little bit and say, okay, what's not quite compatible? Oh, it feels like it's vibrational, it feels like it's political, it feels like it's emotional, right? Whatever it might be, then you can get the aha, and from that you can just simply bless that situation, bless what is, and not get hooked into opposing it or running the other way. So a lot of really deep inner work going on, but a lot of work that is being reflected in the external. So keep paying attention to what's going on out there. Keep paying attention to the big red flags that are getting your attention, and then just be open and willing to start to discern what's really going on. So with that, have a good rest of your week and enjoy this unfoldment of all that's going on within you.